Hi guys, today I want to talk about this. The tutorial will start in a minute, but I wanted to show you something. These are little diamonds in between here, and these little diamonds, I learned that technique from Beyond Bracelets. Her link is underneath the video. I taught myself to do the diamonds first to get a feel of those before I started with the macrame. So that might be a good plan if you want to do the same. Now, I know it's not perfect. As you can see, it's not perfect. But this is handmade. It's my very first one that I did. And I had a lot of fun doing it. And it looks absolutely stunning on your wrist. Also, the pearls, as you can see, they pop out a little bit. If they don't, you need to make sure that your beads are on the top. Right there. And then you will see it will pop out again. So that's like the finishing touch that you need to do before you sell this bracelet, is to make sure that all the seed beads are on the top. And I would say let's go start with the tutorial, or start with getting a feel for those diamonds underneath the video and just go to Beyond Bracelets. I really love this. I want to thank her for teaching me this, because I'm really proud of this little piece of work. And, well, if you have spikes, that might also be a good plan to just put little spikes in there. It's kind of cute, and it will give you a little bit of a biker edge to it. Anyway, yeah, let's get started. Hi guys, I want to show you how I set this one up, and then refer you to the setup page if you haven't done this before. But I need you to know the lengths of these that I'm using. So I have, for this bracelet, I have 3 threads that are 2 arm spans wide on the right side, and then I doubled them up. I have 1 black that is 2.5 arm spans wide. I have 1 white that is 2.5 arm spans wide, and I want to do a purple in between, but just 1 thread. So I'm going to put these 2 in the middle like that, next to the white ones, and this one is also 2.5 arm spans wide, and as you can see, I taped that down to my table. Okay, so let me get you back up here. And then, of course, I have another black that is 2.5 arm span wide, and I have 3 threes of 2 arm spans wide. Now, why are these shorter than the other ones? That's because we don't use this as much as we're going to use the inner ones for the diamond. So these don't get used that much. That's why they're a little shorter. So that's the way I set it up, and now I'm just going to do my first 4 lines. And I've been practicing with this piece, and what I mean by that is I'm going to do these first 4 lines, and this is my practice piece. Doesn't look that good yet. I can explain it better now. So just guys, you go set up, and I'll go set up and start the video again when you've done that. Okay, let's go start with what we're going to do first. First, we're going to put a 4mm pearl on the 2 middle threads, which would be the white threads, and shove that all the way up to the end. And you will need white eye needles for that to get them on there. These are white eye needles. You can open that up. And you will also need 2 head pins, just regular ones. And the head pin, I'll show you what the head pin is for. First, we're going to start with the 2 white ones. After we put on the pearl, we're going to tie a knot forward, 1 and 2. That's 2 times forward. But since I don't want my needle or my not to push into the pearl, I'm just going to do it like that. Put a needle in there, in between. And then we're going to move this over. And since I'm right-handed, I'm going to start with the right hand first. Go moving forward. If you're left-handed, you might want to do the row I do after this first. But let me just show you. So, this is forward. Got your right hand, got the color. The white color needs to be the one that makes the diamond shape. So you go over your finger into the loop, and you're just going to pull that right next to that other knot as close as possible. And you're going to do that again, over the finger into the loop, and pull that as close as possible. Okay, now we got our first knot over there, and just turn that braid around. That will show you if that's very nicely positioned. Next thing is we need to determine how many seed beads, and those are size 11 seed beads, go on the third thread. I think that will be about 3, maybe 4. Gotta check that. I think 3 is right for this first part anyway. And now we're just going to do the forward knot again. Over the finger into the loop. 1, try and get that as close as you can to the other one. Over the finger into the loop. Be careful that you don't pull it. Just pull this one down a little bit, not too hard, and that one to the side. There we go, right next to each other. I'm gonna do one more black one. Over the finger, into the loop. Pull that right next to there. Over the finger, into the loop. And push that over like that. Now we got them very nicely next to each other. Okay, and the next one we'll get beads again. Some black beads. Okay, I got about 4 black ones on there, and I'm gonna go over the finger into the loop. Over the finger into the loop. And move that over. And we're going to do the next one that has nothing on it. Over the finger into the loop. Over the finger into the loop. Like that. And on the next one, I want to do white seed beads. And I got 5 on there. And I'm going over the finger into the loop. Over the finger into the loop. And there we go. Next one is going to have nothing on it. Over the finger into the loop. I'm going to try and get that as straight down as possible. Over the finger into the loop. And next one also has nothing on it. I'm going to go over the finger into the loop, and I'm going to put it about there. Over the finger into the loop. About there. And the last one on this side will have a seed bead, a Swarovski, a seed bead, a Swarovski, and a seed bead. And now that's a little bit too long, that won't fit. But what I want to do is I want to try and bulge that a little bit like that to go there. So, and it's going to be a little bit difficult because now we need to do a forward knot and we need to do a backward knot. So first we're going to go forward. And you got to be careful because the threads need to connect to the other knots. And you will see that this is a little bit difficult. So you need to already try and get that sort of in the direction that you want it. And then you need to make a backward loop, and you got to be really careful you don't pull the threads. And if you have to, like in this case, when you got your second one already on there, second knot already on there, you might want to try and get that tightened up a little bit more, and then add the backward knot to that. There. And now it's pretty close together. Now we need to do the other side, and we got to wrap around the purple cord. So we're picking up the purple cord with our right hand, and we're picking up the one that needs to wrap around it in our left, and then we're going to go over the finger and into the loop, and this is your backward knot. And you got to try and get that real close to the other one, right in the middle, and over your finger into the loop again, and try not to pull anything. And if you see that that one is coming loose, then just go down with this one and pull that back into position before you pull that one up there. There. Now it's nice and snug underneath. And this one just goes over that way. And here we'll do another 3 purple beads. So basically you're now going to do it everything backwards with the backward knot, and but you're going to put the same amount of beads on there as you did on the other side. So I put my beads on my braids just to save myself some video time already, to show you what's next. You hold your black thread in your left hand, go over the finger into the loop, pull it through, and try and get as close as possible as you can to that other knot right there under the pearl, or the one next to under the pearl. Do it again, and try not to move it too much so that that first knot won't go anywhere. And then you can tie it up with that one. Pull that over like that, and put your black thread to this side. And now we're going to have one that has no beads on it, which is my black thread, my second black thread. And hold that in your left hand over the finger into the loop. And just keep that straight down and pull it up near that other knot like that. Over the finger into the loop. And hold that straight down. Slide that up to the other knot. And move that black thread over. And now we're going to have beads again. 4 of them, black ones. And if you get confused with what thread goes over which one, this one is already the shorter one. So this is the long thread, and these are these all whites are short threads. So over the finger into the loop. And I'm going to try and keep that down and get that about right as much as possible next to that one. Over the finger into the loop. And these first rows are very precise work, because you really need to get the knots as close to each other as you possibly can. Now the next white one has no beads on it. Make sure you got them untangled before you use them. So over the finger into the loop. Pulling that one down and that one up close to that knot. Over the finger into the loop. putting that one down and close to the black beads. Now we got beads again. Over the finger into the loop. And pull that up. Keep that close, over the finger into the loop. Put your finger on there, keep that knot tied, maybe it will help. I don't know. Okay, now we got 2 without beads. Over the finger in the loop. And as I said, if you're left-handed, this might be the row you want to start with. Over your finger into the loop, and then you can do the other row, because they work exactly the same. Just easier to start with left, I guess, if you're left-handed. And over the finger into the loop. Trying to get that as close to the other one. Over the finger into the loop. And that's wrong. And sometimes that happens. And if you need that to go down a little bit more, all you have to do is just kind of push that down a little bit like that. If it's too tight, which I thought it was. Next one. Over your finger into the loop. Pull that through. Get that right there next to the other one. Over your finger into the loop. About there, I would say. And now the last one, which will be a pain in the ass again. Over the finger into the loop, forward or backwards. And that needs to just go tight right next to that one. And now we need to make a forward, so you go over your other finger into the loop. And then you pull that tight. And these 2 braids aren't playing anymore, not for now. So you might as well get them out of the way. And these last 2 braids aren't playing anymore either. So just get them out of the way. But don't pull them, just pick them up carefully. Get them out of the rest of the bunch. And put them to the side. And now we go back to the middle. And I'm going to do the right side first. And in the middle, we are going to go pick them up, forward, and just put that one straight down like that, and another forward. Like that. Put them over. Now this one is going to go to that side later on, and this one is going to determine our color on the right side. Make sure you got that knot tight. Pick up your black. And we're going to go forward, right finger, over your finger, into the knot. Okay, we're going to go forward now, picking up the black one with the right hand. Purple goes over the finger, into the loop, and just keep that black thread straight down and pull the purple one up. Over the finger, into the loop. Black one down, purple up. Pick up your next black thread. And although I'm very used to, or eager to pull very tight, you can't. So just carefully over the finger into the loop. Pull that black one down. Pull the purple one up, over the finger, into the loop. Black one down, purple one up. Get the white one, over the finger, into the loop. Pull it straight down, up, over the finger, into the loop. Pull it straight down and up. Next one, over the finger, into the loop. Down, 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 and next one, over the finger, into the loop. Down, over the finger, into the loop. Down. Last one, and here again, forward, over the finger, into the loop. Backward, cross it on your finger, into the loop, upwards. And these aren't playing anymore, so let's get them out of the way. And now we're going to do the backward again. Picking up the black one. And just remember that this color needs to go over that color. So you're going to pick this one up in your left hand, go over your finger into the loop, and pull that up. Over your finger into the loop, and pull that purple one up. Okay. Carefully move that over. Get your black one out of the way. Pick up the next black one in the left hand. And if that needs to be a little tighter, just carefully, carefully, carefully pull that. Okay, so left hand over the finger, into the loop. Pull black down straight, pull purple up, over the finger, into the loop. Black down straight, purple up. Get black out of the way. And that's, I do this when I'm working with left. I don't necessarily need to do that when I do the right side, but because, you know, working left-handed is more difficult for me. So I'm just going to just get these all apart and out of the way. Okay, next one, over the finger, into the loop. Pull white down. Don't pull white down, keep white down. Pull it up, over the finger, into the loop. And pull it up. Moving it over. If I need to, pull that a little bit tighter. Picking up my next color. Over the finger, into the loop. Pulling it up. Over the finger, into the loop. pulling that up. Getting that out of the way. Next white one. Over the finger into the loop. Like that. Over the finger into the loop. And 2. Next one. Over the finger into the loop. Pull it up. Over the finger into the loop. Hold it down and pull it up. Last one. Backward. And forward. Now over the other finger. Into the loop. But just keep it purple. And they're not playing anymore. Get back to the middle. Next are the black threads. Get the 2 middle ones. Forward knot. Forward. And another forward. And I feel like I have a little bit more space on my left side here than between my black thread on the right side. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start with the left side to kind of more pull that in. So doing the backward. And there's just a couple of ways to do this, and this is one of them. Just keep it in the right hand. But the best way not to confuse yourself is, if you start doing this, is to just do it with the left hand. Picking up the next thread. Over the finger into the loop. Pull that up, over the finger into the loop. Pull that up. Next thread. Over the finger into the loop. Pull that up, over the finger into the loop. Pull that up. Last thread. One backward. And now right finger over the right finger, one forward. And just make sure that that black stays on top. And put them aside. And now that I've done the left side, I'm going to do the right side. Over the finger into the loop. Over the finger into the loop. Oops. Pulled it a little bit too tight. The next one. Over the finger into the loop. 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 over the finger into the loop, over the finger into the loop, forward, backwards, cross over your finger back, and not playing anymore. So, and this is a great way. We're reducing our threads, so even though it seems like a lot of work, you're reducing, and then you're going to be increasing again, or you're decreasing. So forward, make sure that knot is in the middle, forward, and my gap on the left side is a little bigger than my gap on the right side, so I'm going to do this one first. Pull that in backwards, backwards, and I like to switch hands, as you can see. I'm trying to do this with my left hand, but sometimes it's just brain-wise, it's just easier to do everything with my right hand. And the last white. Backward and forward. Okay, not playing anymore.